My passion for this country is almost as intense as my affection for everything with a chocolate flavor, which I have no regrets about and am not sorry for. Beyond the knowledge and excitement of wanting to visit its famous cities, there's so much to consider and see when planning a trip, which made me want to share my very own tips worth knowing before you gallivant off to Italy. Some favorites, to name just a few, are the stunning Tuscan towns, the gorgeous Cinque Terre, and the charming canals of Venice. Firstly, you must know that bread will cost you. And not simply in the department of widening hips. Be aware that you can be charged a little price. Always inquire if you're unsure and don't want the extra expense for the bread that is placed on your table by restaurants. Most restaurants won't let you know that there is a charge until you look at your bill after your meal. Per la scarpetta is essential. Without the tradition of doing the scarpetta, or using your bread to soak up all the sauce remaining on your dinner plate, no pasta-based meal is complete. It's somewhat of a tradition in many Italian households and is almost like a dinner ritual there. For the same reason, bread is frequently left on restaurant tables. Put down that butter. Lots of bubble, no champagne. Sparkling wine is highly well liked and makes for a wonderful evening treat for everyone. It can't be just me, can it? Don't forget to sample some regional Prosecco and enter a world of joy and sparkles. Cappuccino is for breakfast. In Italy, cappuccino is typically consumed in the mornings as a breakfast beverage. Try a latte if you must have your evening cappuccino but can't live without it, hot milk, instead of frothed milk like a cappuccino. Tuscany is the best place for steak. Grab one of the best steaks in the world, a massive steak Florentine, and enjoy it in Tuscany. It costs a little bit more than the normal meal, but it's well worth it. I'd advise sharing one because they are fairly enormous, unless you have a lion's appetite. Cinque Terre are the 5 towns you must see. It is one of Italy's most beautiful locations, and the clue is in the name, which may be loosely translated to 5 zones/terrains. If you're around, don't forget to check it out. Note, travel between the towns via train. Count on me for this. By train, it only takes a few minutes, and by driving, around an hour. Cover up in religious sites. When entering some churches, several places ask that women cover their shoulders and legs. When visiting places of worship, especially in the Vatican, which technically is not in Italy, but still, keep this in mind. The North and South are very different. Italy's North and South are extremely dissimilar from one another. Both are fantastic and extremely different. The North is an industrialized, continental European region, while the South has a much more laid-back Mediterranean vibe. The Coperto charge is not a scam. In most restaurants and pubs in Italy, there is a per-person charge called the coperto, which essentially means the cover price. In some restaurants and bars, it may be written in English, but most of the time it will be written as coperto on the bill. Depending on where you attend, this fee might range from €1 to €5 and often includes table bread. However, water is an extra cost. Don't believe that the restaurant is trying to trick you if you notice an extra charge on the bill that you're not familiar with. It's probably just the coperto. train travel is a breeze. Avoid domestic flights and take the extremely simple and usually on-time train system within Italy. While Italo is privately run, Trenitalia is run by the government. With a few instances where it might be more practical to drive, both of these companies run high-speed trains across Italy, making it possible to travel between most of the country's regions. Validate your ticket. Make sure you verify your ticket before boarding the train. This is one of the most crucial things to know before visiting Italy and one of my top travel suggestions for Italy. To accomplish this, place the ticket into one of the several ticket validation devices positioned all over the train platform. The vino is fabulous. Given that they have been making wine for almost 4,000 years, the Italians are experts in the field. House wines in restaurants are typically inexpensive and of extremely high quality. A glass only costs 3 to 6 euros. Simply let the server know what you're looking for, such as a dry white, medium-bodied red, sweet dessert wine, etc., and they'll get you what you want. Loud, angry speech does not automatically equals an argument. Speaking loudly does not necessarily indicate that an Italian is crazy. They are very passionate people. We had to get used to hearing bus drivers shouting at one another on the Amalfi Coast, and store owners virtually yelling at delivery people. The stereotype is accurate. In Italy, you will see a ton of lively hand movements. Buongiorno and buonasera will go a long way. When you enter a store, hotel, restaurant, or when you meet someone new, if you are a first-time visitor to Italy, say buongiorno, Italian for good day, or buonasera, Italian for good evening. Ciao is typically used as an informal greeting for someone you know well. Yes, even if you feel like you are mispronouncing words, it still indicates that you are trying and is almost always appreciated. Even the most irritable people will eventually soften up a little. You don't have to book a hotel in the city you're visiting. The cost of lodging can be prohibitive if you travel to Italy in the height of the tourist season, particularly if you choose to stay in well-known locales like Venice, Cinque Terre, and the Amalfi Coast. Millions of tourists travel to these Italian destinations every year, and accommodations here can be had for quite expensive prices. One of the best-kept travelers' secrets for Italy is that sometimes the best accommodations are in the neighboring town. It's frequently much less expensive, a lot quieter, and the accommodations are probably bigger. Don't tip at restaurants. Since waiters are frequently members of the restaurant's ownership family and typically receive a decent wage, tipping is not customary at dining establishments. However, you might expect a few odd charges on your bill. American diners frequently find the coperto, which is essentially a per-person fee for sitting at the table, to be the most perplexing. The cost must be disclosed on the menu or in the establishment, and for larger groups, it may become expensive. The most popular tourist destinations in Italy frequently have a servizio fee, which is required by law to be clearly stated somewhere like the menu. The servizio can range from 10% to 20% of the total price and doesn't always go to the personnel.